blessed day, everyone, and welcome back to our channel here at Ines Creation. Don't forget to follow us on our social media accounts. For today's video, we will be having our second quarter grade 9 arts. This is the week 1 of our quarter 2 in our module entitled Arts Elements and Principles in the Production of Work Following a Specific Art Style. Let's start first with our introduction. This lesson was designed to guide you in learning the different art forms during the Renaissance and Baroque periods. You will discover how the artists apply the elements of arts and principles of the science in the production of their craft according to their styles. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to be able to describe the elements and principles used, compare and contrast or analyze the artworks from the two periods, and show appreciation by employing the elements and principles of arts learned from Renaissance and Baroque period in one's work. Let's start with the learning task. For our learning task, you are to identify the word that is being described and scramble the letters to get the correct word. So here is our scrambled words. The first one is described as the period of economic progress in the era of great artistic and intellectual achievements with the birth of secular art. The second word is described as the period that utilizes a lot of ornamentation and uses exaggerated motions and contrast that leads to a dramatic effect. Can you answer it now? Let's see if we have the same answer. For our question number 1, the answer is Renaissance. And for our question number 2, the answer is Baroque. Let's have a very quick review about the principles and elements of arts. For the elements of arts, we have the following: line, shape, colors, value, form, texture, and space. While in the principle of arts, we have balance, contrast, emphasis, movement, pattern, rhythm, and unity. Welcome to the Arts Elements and Principles in the Production of Work Following a Specific Art Style, week 1 of our module in arts. We will be starting with the Renaissance period. Renaissance period means rebirth. It flourished in the 1400s in the Italian city of Florence. The era of great creativity in painting, sculpture, and literature. The period of economic progress. The period that revived enthusiasm for the study of artistic values in ancient philosophy. It's the time when people rediscover the glories of an ancient Greece and Rome. It is an era of great intellectual and artistic achievement with the birth of secular art. Focus was on realistic and humanist art. Let's now have the art examples of the Renaissance period. The first example is none other than Mona Lisa, and the most famous paradise painting in the whole wide world. This is the Mona Lisa. And here is how and where Mona Lisa was located. It is in the Louvre Museum in Paris. Also called as Portrait of Elisa Gherardini, the wife of Francesco del Giocondo, Leonardo da Vinci's oil painting on popular wood panel. This is the Mona Lisa. It is a painting that presents a woman in a half-body portrait and a backdrop of distant landscape. Mona, a polite form of address, originates as Madonna, similar to my lady, ma'am, or madame. Here is how Francesco del Giocondo looks like, and here is the artist, Leonardo da Vinci. Let's now evaluate the principles and the elements of arts in this painting. We have the emphasis. Mona Lisa herself was given emphasis in the painting. Leonardo da Vinci makes her the centerpiece of the artwork. As we can see, Mona Lisa is in the emphasis of the painting. Once again, the Mona Lisa. Our next featured artwork in the Renaissance period is entitled La Pieta. This is how La Pieta looks like. And it is found in Vatican. Michelangelo's Renaissance sculpture is this, made from Carrara marble. It is intended for the Cardinal's funeral monument. The theme is of northern origin, famous work of an art that depicts the body of Jesus on the lap of his mother Mary after the crucifixion. So this is the artist Michelangelo, and this is an example of the Carrara marble. Now, let's see the elements of arts present in our featured artwork. And it's none other than the principle of movement. The sculpture strongly shows a grieving movement from the face of Mother Mary while holding her dead son Jesus. Sculpture shows a movement in terms of the action of Mama Mary while holding her son Jesus Christ upon the crucifixion. Again, this is the Pieta. And now let's go to the Baroque period. Derived from the Portuguese word Baroque, which means an irregularly shaped pearl or a stone. So that is how they get the name Baroque from Baroque. Like this pearl, irregularly shaped. A period of artistic style and exaggerated motion, drama, tension, and grandeur. Describe a complex idiom and focuses on painting, sculpture, as well as architecture. The period that utilizes a lot of ornamentation and uses exaggerated motion and contrast that leads to dramatic effect. It reflects the tension of the age by the Catholic Church in Rome. Medium for spreading the message of counter-reformation, used to propagate Christianity by the Roman Catholic Church, used for architectures and arts to impress visitor, express triumph, power, and control by the aristocracy or the upper class. So, in the Philippines, it is the rise of the churches, like this one. It is during the Baroque times. Let's now see our featured artwork. During Baroque period, we have our first art example is a painting. The title is The Portrait of Helen Forment. And here is how it looks like. Peter Paul Rubens' Baroque oil on wood painting. He is the author of this and the artist of this painting. A portrait of her second wife, Helena Forment. Helena Forment, or Helene Forment, was the second wife of Baroque painter Peter Paul Rubens. She was the subject for a few portraits by Rubens and also modeled for the religious and mythological paintings. So this is Peter Paul Rubens. Let's now see the elements, principles of arts used. So we will be focusing on the color. Rubens used the color that pertains to realistic and humanist color of a human flesh and a rosy cheeks. As you can see in the painting, Rubens used a realistic and humanist color that makes the painting looks real. Again, that was the portrait of Helen Forment, our first Baroque artist. Let's go to our last Baroque art, which is entitled The Ecstasy of Saint Teresa. This is how it looks like. It is found on the Cornaro Chapel. Gian Lorenzo Bernini's sculpture, made from white marble. It sets in elevated edicule in Cornaro Chapel, Santa Maria della Vittoria in Rome. Often described as a total work of art, incorporates a variety of elements, sculptures, paintings, and lighting effects presented in a theatrical setting. Here is the artist Bernini, and this is the Cornaro Chapel in Vittoria, Rome. Let's see the elements and principle of arts used in the sculpture. It is none other than the lines. Let's see how lines was used by Bernini. The ray of lighting effects in the background shows vertical and diagonal lines that add some theatrical settings. If you can notice, there's a ray of lights at the back of the angel, and a lot of vertical and diagonal lines were used in the said background. So that is our last artwork featured in Baroque period. Now, let's have a summary of what we've learned for today's lesson. For our type of art, for the title, for the period and the artist. We have the first is the painting of Mona Lisa for the Renaissance period by Da Vinci. The second is a sculpture titled the Pieta, again from Renaissance period by Michelangelo. A painting of Portrait of Helen Formentz from Baroque period and by Rubens. And last, a sculpture entitled Ecstasy of Saint Teresa during the Baroque period by Bernini. And that's it for our first week lesson entitled Art Elements and Principles in the Production of Work Following a Specific Art Style. I hope you learned a lot for today, and I'll see you again on our next video, wherein we will be discussing the distinct characteristic of arts and representative artists during the Renaissance and Baroque period. This is a week 2 of our quarter 2 on mapping in arts. Don't forget to subscribe to be updated with our next videos that will help you with your learning task and your lessons in mapping. This is Ina's Creation, and I'll see you again in our next video. Thank you, and God bless everyone. Bye-bye.